I can't hear you for some reason. Yeah, I can't hear you. There you go. I can talk.
You can hear me?
I can hear you now. Hi. Oh, it started already.
Yeah. You want me to start, so.
Oh, I thought you was working out the volume issues first. Okay. What up, people of God? Saints of the Most High.
You guys.
Hope you all are doing well on this wonderful Monday morning. It is brisk outside.
Yeah.
It's still March. People are all hyped, like, oh, it's warm. I'm like, it's March. It's going to get cold again soon. Trust me.
It was, 80 degrees last Friday?
I don't know. I think so.
It was wonderful.
I'm excited about Fresh Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to talk. I'll hit you up after to see who's on because I want to possibly talk about something to see how how the Saints are responding to it.
Uh-oh.
It should be pretty cool.
Hey, Rosalind.
How you doing, Rosalind? You all right? Hope you are doing well. Hope that you are pleased in the Lord today. And God has been good to you this morning. A new mercy that you saw this morning just because God has been faithful. So please do us a favor and share if you can as we talk about maximizing your Monday.
Yeah.
Maximizing your Monday. What's up, Kife? Hey, Rosalind. Mike, what's up with all these friend requests from these Forex and trading people and all this stuff? Like, I just shared on my Facebook, and it's like all these people, random people, with just sending friend requests out from like these Forexes and all this.
I never heard of that.
You never heard of Forex?
Mm-mm.
Don't friend somebody on because they'll come out like a swarm.
What is it?
It's like a form of online trading.
Oh. No, I don't get those friend requests.
Yeah. What's up, Will? Hey, Keisha. Oh.
But I think it's a good point because sometimes people feel like you have to accept every friend request.
Mm-mm.
I sure don't.
On my business page, you can you could be on there all you want to. Outside of that, no, I'm good. So y'all come on in so we can have a conversation and we'll talk about some things. Please share if you can. Give people a chance to come on, and we believe that God is good today. On today, as they say. Oh, don't forget Easter week. This is Easter week. Jesus.
We're in it now.
And I got to talk to you about Good Friday. So after we're done this.
Okay.
So Easter week, don't forget we have videos every week this week at 7:00. Of course, our regular Bible study on Wednesday at 7, and then Good Friday service at 7:00. Did you guys get all the sermons in?
No.
Okay.
I'm working with Pastor P on it already.
Okay. So we do know one in particular, correct?
Yes, we have that one.
Right.
We have two of them. So
who'd you get?
I got Pastor Bryant's and Bishop Blake's.
Okay. All right. So we got so far we got a message. Pastor Jamal Bryant will talk to us about do one of the words for Good Friday, and then of course Bishop Samuel Blake's will do some.
He's moderating everything.
Do some moderating. It's going to be a good time. So
yeah,
make sure you tune in on Friday at 7. And I look like I'm in the dark.
You are.
Well, because
angle the other way.
Well, because the light was so bright going this way. So.
Hey, Keisha, my weekend was great. Thanks for asking.
That's better.
Yeah.
That's because y'all I told y'all about getting y'all theology from movies, and you end up like my scared.
That was in elementary school.
Oh my God, Jesus came back and I got left behind. Where's everybody? I'm going to hell. You know, I mean, to me, honestly, scaring people into serving God and scaring people into the kingdom usually only lasts but so long.
Mm.
You know, when you think about it, fear tactics can get people to make an emotional decision but never really make a commitment.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's almost like people, they only are afraid of losing a person when the loss becomes actual. Meaning, you know, they act like they got some sense as long as the fear of loss is there.
Mm-hmm.
And then once they realize that everything is going back to normal, they go back to being trifling again.
Yeah.
Because the fear of loss isn't there anymore.
Yeah.
So it's like if the potential of losing the person makes them behave, but then the person gets comfortable, they forgive, let's move on. They go right back to the same behavior, which means the person never really changed. They were only emotionally adjusting because they were afraid.
Yep.
And that's why real change takes time. Real change takes time. Real change takes time. And it doesn't come overnight. So when people get caught up in, oh my God, they changed. Well, it's been like a week. You have to see, has this person really made the adjustment in life, or are they just being emotional? And I think that there's a big difference there.
Definitely.
Because some folk are just emotional. They don't mean it. They only accept the quote unquote change when it's convenient for them. Absolutely convenient for them. So, I mean, what do I know? You okay?
He's just rapping. Yeah, I was hearing things. Like, what's going on?
Oh, they're doing some stuff on the roof. That might be what you're hearing.
Oh, okay.
Thought it was a ghost or something.
I mean, I don't know.
I tell people the only ghost that's in there is the Holy Ghost. Hey,
The Holy Ghost.
Hallelujah. But you know, let's talk about relationship health.
Relationship health?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because this whole month we dedicated to health topics. We talked about fitness. We talked about food, nutrition, our mental health. Maya was all in. The most she ever talked when we was talking about what's her name? The Royals. Prince.
Meghan
what's his
Markle?
name? Meghan Markle and what's the prince's name?
Prince Harry.
Prince Harry. I was gonna say Andrew. Prince Harry. She was like, "Oh, juice, the tea, gossip."
What do you think? Yeah.
But I think relationship health is very important because I heard a quote years ago. Some people can either bless you, or I'll use this hard term, curse you. But I'm not talking about like a cursing like in a crazy demonic way. Well, sometimes that may happen, but there is a truth there that we have to be careful who we allow in our space. And are we having healthy relationships with people? And I think a lot of individuals have unhealthy relationships because they come from unhealthy relationships. And if you can dislike something, but you're so used to it that it's what you accept.
Yeah. And
then when something comes that you actually want, you're so afraid of it that you push it away. Oh boy.
True.
I want unconditional love. And somebody unconditionally loves you. You can't love me this way. You know, but that's what you wanted though. You wanted somebody to love you for you, then they loved you for you. And because you can't accept you, you find it hard to think that somebody else finds you acceptable.
Yeah.
And this is why I'm a hard believer on relationships don't fix your self-esteem issues. They help your self-esteem, but they don't fix them though.
Yeah.
Because if you find yourself unacceptable, you will always find it hard to believe that somebody else finds you acceptable too.
Mm-hmm.
And the person will be completely fine. Oh my God, look at my feet. They're too big. They're like, I'm okay with your feet. I don't care. Oh, my feet too big. I'm only using feet because that's the safest thing. If I talk about the body part, my feet, and the person's like, I don't care. But then watch this. You keep drawing attention to it. Then one day gonna look at your feet and say, yo, you do have some big feet. See, I knew it. You was lying to me the whole time. You was lying. And it's like, well, you kept drawing attention to it.
But do you think that sometimes people are longing for different things, but then they don't exactly know what it is that they're longing for?
Yes. They can long for companionship when what they really need is healing. Nothing wrong with companionship, but sometimes the things we desire is something deeper. I keep telling people, they be like, oh, I'm single. I can't wait to get married. When I get married, I'm going to finally be happy. If you are unhappy before you're married, you're going to be unhappy after you're married. I'm trying to tell you something. Marriage is not the answer to everything. And people think, if I just get married, it's going to be okay. That is not true. It's not true. And marriage is a great institution with the right person. But marriage isn't there to fix your internal issues.
Yeah.
There's got to be a measure of self-acceptance, self-love. And then somebody comes into your life to add, but they don't come in to replace or to, how can I say this, make up for what you lack internally.
Yeah.
And I think we're too busy looking outside rather than looking between me and God. Me and God fix this, and you help me with this.
All right. I agree. I think people look for that validation, or like, oh, I am pretty or whatever, when they need to have it for themselves first. Yeah.
I mean, you got to be your own biggest cheerleader. And being your own biggest cheerleader doesn't mean, you lie to yourself. But it means that, you're honest about who you are, and you learn to appreciate yourself and make necessary changes. Because to me, the higher your self-esteem, not only the more accepting you are, but the more you're willing to make some adjustments too. I know that sounds antithetical. Some people are like, well, you have great self-esteem when you accept everything about you. That is foolishness. That is not true. Not true at all. So again, marriage is great. However, it's not a healer. If anything, marriage actually exposes your wounds. It exposes your fears, your hangups, your struggles, your pains. Marriage is a revealer. And if you're not ready for that, you're going to be in trouble. Some of y'all love watching Hallmark and Lifetime movies. It's just, as soon as I get in, it's good.
I mean, don't come from my Hallmark movies.
It's gonna be great.
But we had to live in real life.
As soon as I get in, it's gonna be great. We're never gonna argue. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be cool.
I mean, how do you know that's what the movies are like if you never watch them?
Because I know how y'all talk. That's why. Y'all don't live in reality.
Sure.
I'm a hopeless romantic, and until you have like.
Continue.
Until you have 2 or 3 kids and y'all both working hard, and I'm glad you all over there. I almost ran under, got that Lysol spray and just.
I know, I can see your eye. I thought muting the mic would help, but I forgot yours. Pick it up.
And plus, I can see you too. about to run back in my office.
I was eating some Cheez-Its earlier, so.
Oh, it's the Cheez-Its. So relationship health. I've been just running my mouth. Go ahead, jump in.
No, I agree with you. And I speak from experience. I think sometimes we look outward for validation or to meet different desires and needs that we have. But like you said, like it really has to start within first. And I like what, who said it? Someone said it's about, where is it? I can't find it. Oh, our mates are meant to complement, not complete. And I think that's where a lot of us get it wrong because we're looking for us to complete, looking for my other half as opposed to someone who's just there to help make it better.
There
For
you
lack
go.
of better words.
It is because God sewed up Adam before he gave Eve to him. God built Eve up before he connected them. He said, "Help me," not God. Because what happens is if you look for the person to complete you, you actually are desiring a person to be a divine person, divine individual in your life. You want them to play God. Again, my wife helps me heal us. She's not the healer.
Right.
And vice versa. But I think a lot of people look towards the other person. I'm not better all the way. But how am I going to help change you when I'm barely helping to change myself? Like, so relationship help is important because everything revolves around relationships. I hate to break it to you, whether it's family, friendship, spouse, dating, business, it revolves around relationship. And can you have healthy relationships in every single area? And
I guess too, what defines healthy?
Let's talk about it. I mean, there's responsible love there. What I mean by responsible love is like 1 Corinthians 13. It's patient, it's kind. It doesn't rejoice in evil. It's not selfish. Healthy relationships is Paul talks in Philippians 2, how we're supposed to consider others more than ourselves. Healthy relationships, there's reciprocation. I'm not the only one doing all the giving. You're also returning to. In a business relationship, there's not a friendship like that. Most times there's no real emotion in it per se. But we work together. Another thing too is conflict management. How well do you manage conflict? To me, the strength of your relationship is how well you manage conflict. If you guys can't disagree, meaning as soon as we disagree, we can't be friends no more, and I don't care about you, I love you, then you don't have a strong relationship.
Right.
I know that was a lot. There's more to it, but it's just a healthy relationship is mutually beneficial for both people. Where, there are times where the one may win, the other one may not, but overall, it's a healthy balance.
And I was gonna say that, like, understanding that there will be bumps in the road and there will be times where you're not going to be in agreement. That doesn't mean that, you guys aren't there for each other or it's not a healthy relationship, but, those times will happen. And how do you respond in them, I think is what makes it stronger overall.
Absolutely. Because can we talk through these difficult times? Can we have discussions, when situations are hard? That is important. Can we talk through these things? To me, you have real trust in your relationship when you can have those hard discussions. You can have those difficult discussions. We can jump in and we can talk it through and hash it out.
Yeah.
But if we keep avoiding it, you don't know the strength of your relationship.
Yeah, for me, like, if you're avoiding or you can't be true and authentic with your partner, that's a problem.
It starts with trust.
Mm-hmm.
Trust is the foundation for everything in a relationship. Communication, intimacy, money, all that stuff comes down to trust.
Mm-hmm.
Because if we trust each other, we can have hard conversations. If we trust each other, we can have difficult things, difficult conversations.
Yeah.
And that's what trust is all about. We love each other enough to have these hard conversations before the problem becomes bigger than what it needs to be.
Mm-hmm. So then how do you kind of bridge that gap? You know, if someone is someone who wants to sit down and talk about everything, and then the other person keeps it all to themselves. Like, how do you bridge that gap and find that common place between the two?
Well, I mean, the person that wants to talk about everything has to give the person who is not as confrontational
Mm-hmm.
the chance to feel a comfort to share. And the person that is not as confrontational but wants to hold it all in has to
Mm-hmm.
understand that if you hold it all in, A, you're going to explode after a while.
Mm-hmm.
But the success of your relationship hinges on having these conversations. You can't live in denial forever,
Yeah.
you know? But again, where there's trust, where there's safety,
Mm-hmm.
it's easier to have these conversations. It's much easier to have these conversations.
Yeah.
And I think that's important. I mean, I guess, but you always have your confrontational one. And I mean confrontational in a good way, not like,
Mm-hmm.
mean, but let's talk about this. The other person that just wants to, can we just act like it never happened? No, it
No.
happened. We got to talk about it. Let's deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what's crazy, Maya? Usually the one that doesn't like to talk about stuff usually doesn't mind talking about it if they're the one that's offended.
Right. Exactly.
But when they're the offender, don't bring it
Mm-hmm.
up. Don't bring it up. That's not going to work.
Mm-hmm.
That's not going to work. That's very pubescent.
Mm-hmm.
I can get on you, but you can't get on me. Mm-mm,
Don't
mm-mm,
work both ways like that.
mm-mm. That's childlike behavior.
Mm-hmm.
I remember years ago, somebody gave this recommendation before you have a very hard conversation, especially if it's your spouse or somebody you're dating, somebody you're close to, you say, I need to have a conversation with your head, not your heart.
Mm.
Lead with that phrase to kind of get the person into more logic than feeling.
You don't think that would make them more offensive?
What depends on the person. Again, if there's trust there,
Mm-hmm.
we need to have a hard conversation. And you talk to your head, not your heart.
Yeah.
Would that offend you?
I don't know.
You
I'd be like, what are you trying to say?
just be looking to be offended.
But I like what Dana says, schedule time to talk to prepare the non-talkative one for a talkative person to unload. Now, unload. Because I don't want it to be like a one direction, just spewing out everything. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, how do you manage that? Because I feel like that's easy to do, especially if it's something that has you really emotional.
Well, I mean, I think before you have the conversation, you have to think through what you're going to say, how you're going to say it.
Mm-hmm.
You want to choose your words wisely so you're articulate rather than just full of just unloading all of how you feel.
Mm-hmm.
What we want to do is just drop the bomb on a person and just walk away.
Like, drop the bang, boom.
Yeah,
Now
boom.
what?
This is how I feel. And no, you can't say nothing and just move on. But are you really looking for reconciliation?
Mm-hmm.
Or are you just looking to get something off your chest?
Right. And I said that's not a conversation.
That's not a conversation. That's you wanting to have a monologue.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want a genuine conversation with somebody, you got to go into it knowing that the other person's going to have a response to what you say.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're offended by the other person's response, is because you didn't go into that want to have a conversation. You wanted to go into it having your way,
Mm-hmm.
which is not a conversation.
Right.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Difficult conversations. It's not for the weak-minded. It's for the mature. It's for the mature.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to have that. But I mean, I think a lot of us think about ourselves when we're arguing with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
versus let me see your side too. Let me see your perspective.
Yeah.
And then I'll share mine with you.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. It's so important to like take a step back and evaluate all those things. Like, of course, consider what it is that you're feeling. Where is the other person coming from? What are you doing to, kind of offset things?
Yeah. Do you know, Maya, that this is actually cool? We're talking about this. The how you respond when you're upset shows you your internal age.
Mm.
If you're still going off throwing an adult temper tantrum, which may not be rolling on the floor like a kid crying, but you sound like a kid, it's because you got hurt when you were younger and you grew numerically, but you didn't grow internally.
Wow.
If you're one of those people that get mad and sit and sulk and let people walk by you and just, you act, it's because only you're a teenager. There's only teenagers sit in the room sulking and want the whole room to adjust to what's wrong with them.
Yeah.
Adults talk about it.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's good to say, I need to have a difficult conversation with you. Can we talk about this?
So then what happens if you do all that, you try to come at it the right way, and then your partner just doesn't want to?
Well, I mean, again, that's where you're talking about like a marriage, a relationship.
Marriage, religion, any type of relationship.
Well, I mean, usually that person's going to reject it up front. Usually with those people, what I do is I'm patient enough to let them build the house, start a family, put a fence up, manicure the lawn. What I mean by this, they build up so much fruit that when I bring it up, they can't deny it. They can't deny it. What about this? This happened. This happened. Boom, boom. And it's right in front of their face. And they're going to try to deny it, but they're going to end up looking crazy. Some people, no matter how you approach them, even if you approach them nicely, they're still going to be offended. But again, only children don't want to be called on their stuff. And they get adults don't like, being approached, being corrected like that. But you're supposed to accept it better as an adult than as a child. Children lie when you approach them. Did you do that? No, but I saw you do it. No, it wasn't me. You were the only person in the room. Who else broke it? I don't know, but you were the only person in the room. Who broke it? Not me. Ooh.
Somebody had to break it, and only you.
Yeah. But again, I think to answer your question, Will, and a few other people, if a person is unwilling to have those difficult conversations, they're more going on inside of them. They're either easily offended, easily rejected, so it's hard for them to have those discussions. But if you value the relationship, you're going to have those difficult conversations. But again, it's got to be a conversation, not a one side, I'm going to just unload everything on you. It's got to be conversational. And let's say like if you and I are having a business conversation about something, and if I'm upset or you're upset, we don't have to be all tense and stuff. Let's just work it out.
Yeah.
Just move on. It doesn't have to be.
Yeah. That would be the day. But like I said, the other thing is ability to move on. Because I know sometimes it's easy to hold on to things and then to bring them back around, and like you're not letting it go.
Yep. Yeah. It's because, again, it goes back to, say, look, we'll use us for example to make them feel better. If you and I are having a difficult conversation about something, is the goal one of us winning? Or is the goal, let's come to an agreement to get the job done?
Right.
Again, it's not about who wins. It's about what's best for both people. And for us in our context, what's best for the ministry. And if you take that same process everywhere you go, it makes it easier because you're looking at what's best for the relationship, not I won, I got you.
Right.
But
The focus is wrong.
Yeah. Some people got that competitive thing. Now, I'm going to win this argument. You know how you got that competitive thing? Hear me out, y'all. When you have to have the last word. I got you. You know, because people, you ever had this happen? Like you said, the goal is resolution, right?
Mm-hmm.
As soon as you get it resolved, all right, you good? Yeah, I'm good. Yeah. Oh, I just wanted to add. That's their way of leaving the conversation with a sense of control.
Mm-hmm.
Maturity says I don't have to have the last word all the time.
Yeah.
When it's over, it's over. But if I feel the need to jump in and say something ain't right. So yes, if someone sits around and sulks after being offended, could not be it's absolutely manipulation, because it's childlike. They want you to adjust everything. What's wrong? What happened? Are you okay? What's wrong? Nothing. Yeah. What's wrong? Nothing. I'll be okay. Well, why are you sulking? Because they want the whole thing to come around to them.
And some people just want attention.
Yeah. And don't give it to them. You know? And don't give it to them. How many times have you seen adults ignore a child?
Mm-hmm.
I am not like that at all. How many times have you walked past a child, right? Or you see the parent do it, but they're just crying and they just keep on. It's like, I'm not going to give you the attention, because once you feed it, it keeps going.
Mm-hmm. And it creates a habit. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's like my dog. So it's a completely different situation. But like my one dog, she would just keep sitting there and barking and yelping until she just does, what she wants.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's not creating a good habit.
It's like you just ate. You just took you out. Did all this.
What else do you want?
Yeah. I think your hair is where's your mic at?
Oh.
Yes. You guess you got your hair done. Your luxurious hair and your curls are
What is it, muffled?
It sounded like a wind coming through.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is that better?
A little bit, yeah.
It might be my laptop too.
Okay. We've been having technical difficulties, like I don't know what's
sometimes when the engine kicked up, so
the engine from the computer?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like it's overheating.
Oh, okay. That's not a good thing, is it?
It's just because it's in use.
It's a what?
It's because it's in use.
I mean, it's not supposed to be that loud normally, right?
I don't know. I know it happens to other computers. It's the thing. Yeah.
Yeah, usually that's not a good sign. It's usually not a good sign. You have a bad relationship with your laptop.
I do. That must mean I need to get another one, right? Like I dumped this one for something new.
Right. So yeah, I mean, you can, like Andrea says, you're there to affirm the person. You don't have to feed that person's demons, because what you feed grows.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's important to. It depends on how much you value the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
If I value the relationship, let's talk about it so we can move on. I want peace. I'd rather have peace of mind. Now, the other part of it too is that some people you don't have to have conversations with, because you got to think about it. If I talk about this, is it going to waste my time?
Mm-hmm.
Let me just say how I feel real quick and let them deny and we move on. So at least they can never say I didn't say something.
Right.
Because it's like, why waste time?
Mm-hmm.
You never fight a...
Sorry, I'm going to go. Go ahead.
No, good. No, you're right.
I think that's a good point. Like, you need to know who you're working with.
Yeah.
Like, for me, if I know someone... Okay, so there was someone who I went to school with and we had, like, a project or something, right? Yeah. And she would get, like, real, like, emotional about things,
Mm.
you know, when there was a conflict, instead of I'm the type of person who wants to sit down and talk about it.
Sure.
And so I was responding to her, you know, I was getting hyped. And, you know, I had to come to grips like, okay, that's just how she deals with things.
Mm-hmm.
Now I know what to expect, so it's not going to trigger me.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I mean, especially the business relationship, it's like, let's just do this work, talk through it, and move on. Hey, Jeanette, like, why are we got to argue about this? I'm not going to see you in 5-10 minutes after this conversation's over. Like, let's go. But healthy relationships matter.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they're starting to work on the roof. We might have to end early. So, you know, you don't fight a battle where there are no spoils. You just, you know, you move on. So this is really going to be loud. I'm sorry. We're sorry, y'all. We didn't realize they're going to be working on the roof. They're fixing something up there. So that's the banging that you hear in the background. So we actually might end early then, because I didn't realize they were going to be working on the roof. Yeah. And we at least pride ourselves on having a valuable, you know, having a very clean discussion. So sorry, y'all. Let's just stop right here. Maybe we'll pick this up next time.
Yeah, this is good.
Is that cool?
Maybe this can be our focus for April.
Yeah. Well, it's getting on my nerves though. Y'all can't hear the banging in the roof. I hear it through my headphones.
Yeah, me too.
So, and then we're gonna get Maya's. She got the fresh wind of the Holy Ghost flowing through her laptop. It might be. Why don't you use these like a attaching headset rather than trying to show off with your AirPods?
I'm not trying to show off.
I know.
Honestly, I think it's because my fan picked up in my laptop.
Okay. All right. So listen, we're going to end right here, just because this the banging is starting to kind of get to us a little bit. So what we'll do is stop here, and then we'll fix the mighty Russian wind, and and we'll pick this up next time. Okay. Actually, you know, next week we got Moses is going to be on. See, you heard it. You just heard it, right? Moses is coming on to talk to us about health and fitness next week, and then the following week we'll pick this back up again. Hopefully we remember the topic. Somebody remind us, and don't forget, recap today at 5:30, and then the Holy Monday video drops at 7, right?
Yep, it's gonna be good.
All right, y'all. We'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.